Using OAB law when you have an accident is easier than a hockey player using a microwave, transferring a call, going to the dentist.
The money you need, get the money you want. Call OAB law.
Hey, guys, how you doing? DJ Pendergrass here with Billy Sivyer. We're here at OEB Law, and I've had a lot of people ask questions about what do you do if something happens, you have an accident, you're in a car wreck, so many different questions. So what I figured to do was I can't give you legal advice because I'm not a lawyer, so I figured I'd go grab one. How you doing, Billy?
I'm good, DJ. How you doing?
I'm good, man. Hey, thanks for taking this time. We want to give the people the information, some solid information, and I felt like you was the best one to be able to do so.
Well, I appreciate that. And of course, the information is the most important part.
Absolutely. So I'm going to start off here. Immediate actions. What is the first thing someone should do after a car accident?
Look, DJ, man, it's really, really simple. There's really two steps to this process that people need to do after they get in a car wreck, okay? First things first is you need to make sure that your body's okay, all right? We don't want to be doing anything crazy until we make sure that we're physically okay to do those things. The most important thing from start to finish in this entire process, whether you come to OEB law or you don't, is to make sure that you as a person feel healthy. Beyond that, the very next step, as soon as you're okay, or as soon as you can get somewhere where you can be seen by a doctor and become okay, pick up the phone and call OEB law. We can handle the next steps of that process for you. We can make sure that they're done correctly, and we can make sure that you get everything that you need out of the process. And that's really as simple as it can be, DJ. There's not much more to it, buddy.
Well, let me ask you, should individual always call the police, even if it's a minor accident?
There's nothing wrong with calling the police. I think that the police can do a lot of good for you. A lot of times the police, and especially with a police report, can provide us with information that is critical and can help us in our process of getting everything sorted with the insurance company on our end. I don't think there's ever an issue with calling the police department if that's something that you have interest in doing, or if that's something that you feel that you need to do at an individual wreck basis, basically.
Great. So let's gather some information here. All right. What should be collected at the scene of the accident?
Basic details would be helpful. Basic details, and what I mean by that is simply the other driver's name, a picture of their driver's license, a picture of their insurance card if they'll provide that to you, and sometimes they won't. And if they won't, really just track down their name, potentially get us a contact information, get the make and model of their vehicle, maybe their license plate if they're being difficult, things that are readily available to you. And there is a world where the individual may not even want to give you their name. And if they don't, the most important thing I can tell you is to get a picture of their license plate with a picture of their car in it so that we can kind of track down who's driving that vehicle potentially and maybe be able to find it out for you that way. And again, if the police show up, the police officer will get down as much of that information as possible, but it never hurts to have more than one source of that information for us.
So I'm thinking those are the specific photos or evidence that is especially important to document. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's exactly correct.
Perfect. So let's go to dealing with insurance. Why should someone avoid saying when speaking to the insurance company about an accident? What should someone say or avoid saying when speaking to the insurance company about an accident?
I think the most important thing that I can tell you when dealing with insurance companies is that you shouldn't be dealing with them at all. You should be calling an attorney. OEB law can provide you with everything that needs to happen with an insurance company. And a lot of times our clients like to get out ahead of things, and proactive people, as most people are when they're in situations that are new to them or cause them harm. People like to get out and try to do something to make those situations better for themselves. But a lot of times what people don't realize is the information they're giving out is not always beneficial to them. The insurance company is going to ask you a lot of questions about a lot of things. And sometimes the information you give it and the way that individuals give it can be detrimental to a personal injury case, as crazy as that seems. Even basic questions that you wouldn't think have any effect on a case could actually play a pretty big role in your case. So what I would tell you is, if you're in a car wreck, call an attorney before you talk to an insurance company and let us take care of all that for you.
Wow, I've never heard that. That's why I'm not a lawyer. And that's why I got you, Billy. That was perfect. So legal considerations. What should someone consider when should someone consider contacting a lawyer after a wreck?
Immediately. I would tell you I don't care if you're at the scene of the wreck. As soon as you're in that car wreck, as long as you can assess yourself and make sure that you're okay, right? I don't want you calling my law firm if you need to be in a hospital. Take care of you first. As long as you take care of you first, as soon as you're situated and you're okay, pick up the phone and call us. It's that simple. I'm telling you, from start to finish, we'll get you taken care of.
So how can a lawyer help with claims involving injuries and property damage?
Well, an attorney can basically handle all of that for you, right? This is, for a lot of people, car wrecks aren't something that happen every day. And I like to tell my clients when I talk to them on the phone that it's kind of like calling a plumber when you got a clogged toilet, right? I mean, you can probably get in there and work on it and fix it and make it okay. But I can promise you a plumber is going to make sure that it's done correctly, it's done right, and it's not going to break on you really quickly in the future. And that's kind of how I equate what I do for people to individuals who call our office, right? I'm going to make sure your case is done right. I'm going to make sure your case is handled in the best shape that it can be handled in. And I'm going to make sure that you don't have problems in the future that could arise if you tried to do it on your own.
Well, you've talked about some considerations that will hurt someone in their case. So are there time limits of filing the claims or lawsuits after a car accident?
Yeah, so in terms of filing a claim, you don't really have a time limit to file a claim outside of the statute of limitations when it comes to your case in general. So anytime you're in a car wreck, you have 1 year from the date of that accident to file a lawsuit on your case. And if that lawsuit's not filed within that 1 year period of time, you lose your case forever. Now, in terms of a claim, you can kind of do that anywhere within that 1 year period, whether it's the day of, a couple days later, a couple months later, as long as you have the proper documentation. But again, like we talked about before, the best way to handle a claim and even your lawsuit is to call that attorney.
Man, that's perfect, dude. You hit it on. I have one more question for you, Billy. I know you're very busy and you have to go. What should someone do if the other driver doesn't have insurance or refuses to cooperate?
So a lot of people don't know this, but this is probably one of the best advice I can give drivers on the road out there, is to make sure that you protect yourself first and foremost. And the best way I can tell you to do that is to make sure you have something called uninsured or underinsured motorist insurance. Call your insurance carrier today. If not, call them as soon as you can and check and see that you have that coverage on your policy. If you don't, you need to add it, because what happens is if you are in a car wreck and you don't have uninsured motorist insurance and the person who hits you does not have insurance, you're going to be stuck in a very, very bad spot where your recovery is extremely limited. So the most important thing to do is have uninsured motorist insurance. If that's not a possibility for you, the best I can do is tell you to get as much information about that person as possible and bring it over here and let us look at it and see if we can dig into it for you. Because it's not, all in all, that's a bad spot to be in.
Yeah, absolutely. Shouldn't be on the road anyhow, but we know how that goes.
True.
Billy, you're a gem, man. I appreciate it so much. Guys, everybody out there, call OEB Law. You see it on the ticker at the bottom. 625 Market Street is where we're located, but you can call right now, 865-546-1111, 546-1111, or you can go right to your .com site and hit wreckintoacheck.com. Be more than happy. Some lawyers here, probably Michael. He's ready. I mean, Billy's ready to go. Michael's here too, but Billy's ready to go. If anybody needs any help right now is the time to call, 865-546-1111, or you can go to wreckintoacheck.com. Billy, again, I appreciate you for joining me. Enjoy the rest of your day, sir.
Y'all take care. Thanks, DJ.
At OEB Law, our home is your home. Giving back and helping out whenever needed. OEB Law is proud to be from East Tennessee. OEB Law feels like home.